Next up, our presentation is Writing, Producing, and Releasing an Album by Julian Retherford.
I just spent the last 2 years creating my very first album. Music is my biggest passion, and creating an album has been a dream of mine for a very long time. But I never really had the skill or the dedication to pull it off, even though I tried multiple times. Given that this was my senior project, I thought it would be a pretty good idea because I'd actually have a reason to do it. Creating an album would also be a real challenge, which is something I wanted. I didn't just want a project that I could do in a month and be done with it. And because of that, I initially had a different idea for this. I wanted to create a full feature-length film. I wrote 3 scripts, about 1.5 hours long, probably translated to a movie, but afterwards decided that it would be too difficult to do. I've always been into music, but it wasn't until 2nd grade that I actually started playing an instrument. Piano was one of the first instruments I played. I've also taken drum, guitar, and viola lessons, and I've played bass and cello too. Here's a clip of me playing piano just a few months in. So as you can see, I was really off to a good start. Throughout the years, I also went to musical summer camps. At one of the camps, we'd get together in a band with a bunch of people my age, and we'd practice for a couple weeks, then perform on stage at a public restaurant in front of an audience. Here's a clip of me playing in a band one year at that camp. The singer is my best friend Blaine, who will be mentioned again in this presentation a few times, and I'm the bassist on the right. GarageBand is a free software called a DAW. A DAW is where producers record, create, and produce their music. I found it one day on my dad's iPad and started experimenting with audio loops and making some beats. It wasn't anything good, but it was starting steps. Here's a song I made about 4 years ago. And about 3 years ago, I decided I wanted to get better at what I was doing. So I started taking production lessons with a local musician, producer, and Waldorf alum named Micah Wagner. Around that time, I also purchased Logic Pro, which is the upgraded version of GarageBand. Micah is also my mentor for this project. So now let me walk you through how I actually create a song. Usually I'm just messing around with chords or melodies on piano and guitar until I find something that I like. And then I record it so I remember when I go to Logic to produce it. Once I have chords, a melody, and lyrics, I start producing. I typically start producing with a rough demo, which is just everything is recorded, not meant to be very good, not meant to be perfect. It's just enough so that I can build the song around it and see if I actually want to make it a full song or not. Think of a demo like a rough draft of an essay. Once I have a demo, I send it to people that I trust and get feedback. Then I record the best possible versions of each instrument and vocals and add all of the extra little layers into the song that will make it better. Then it's time to do final mixing, which is essentially getting all of the tracks to work together in harmony. It'll make it so that the song sounds clear and polished. And the last step of a song is mastering, which enhances the overall sound and makes it ready for streaming platforms. Now, instead of just talking about this, I actually wanted to show you. So here's a video showing each layer of a song I made called Reckless, and I made it with my best friend Blaine.
My choices have made me this way. I guess my choices have made me this way.
as you can see, that video showed how I create most instruments digitally and then layer them all together to create a full song. Making individual songs is one thing, but making a cohesive album is another. There were 3 things I focused on to make this actually happen. Firstly, I wanted a consistent sound. Some of my favorite albums, like Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd or Black Holes and Revelations by Muse, are a good example of a consistent sound. They seemed like they were made specifically for that album. Each song was recorded by the same people at the same time, specifically for that record. The second thing I wanted is to have is to have some songs flow together. So I chose a few specific songs and created transitions between them to make them sound like they were one song. And lastly, now that it had a consistent sound and I had songs flowing together, it was time to create a track list order and listen to it to see if it's what I wanted. One of my biggest challenges of making an album was making sure every song felt like one cohesive album rather than a random compilation. This was especially difficult because over the 2 years of making this album, my musical style changed a lot. What I decided to do was put my oldest tracks at the beginning and my newest tracks at the end, so that when you listen, you can hear my growth and the change in style of music in real time. Now I want to show you how some songs change over the writing and producing period. I find this part of songwriting really interesting. I love when my favorite artists show their first drafts of songs compared to the final drafts. So let me do that with a couple of the songs on the album. The first song is called Nighttime Driving, and I'll play the first audio clip I recorded on piano when I had the idea. And then here's the final song.
Nighttime driving in the wind, how it should have been. Didn't mean to kill the messenger, but I hope you'll love me again. Nighttime driving in the rain, how it should have been.
My song Too Close to Forget, oh wow. My song Too Close to Forget went through 3 main stages. This is the first song I wrote that made it onto the album, which means it's the oldest song. I recorded this first probably like 2 years ago, maybe like 2 or 3 months. Here's the first idea I had, the first demo. I didn't like it, so I decided to go with a different route. The issue is, I didn't end up liking that version either. And both Micah and I thought that the original melody was strong. So I took that original melody, went back to it, changed the lyrics a bit, and changed how I sang it. And this is how the final version sounds. The album consists of 8 primary tracks and 2 bonus demos. I'm going to go into brief detail of how each track sounds, but I don't want to tell you the story about it. While the songs each have a personal story to me, I also want them to each have a personal story to you, the listener. Too Close to Forget and Too Late to the Party are a chill, indie pop, singer-songwriter vibe, and I implemented acoustic guitar, drums, and synth together to make them a little bit unique. Rewind Time has a similar vibe, but it's a little more cinematic. It's very synth-heavy and doesn't have a ton of vocals. Paper Planes and Nighttime Driving move into indie rock a bit more, but are still pretty chill and synth-dominant. Ecstasy and Reckless have fully moved into the rock territory, showing how the style of this album changes over time. Ecstasy has an electro rock vibe, and Reckless is a very alternative garage rock style. A Ghost Story closes the main album. It's a chill, ambient, and almost trance-like rock song. When I played these 8 songs from my best friend Blaine, I also played him a short instrumental track that I made for a music application. He loved it and said I should include it on the album. So I did, as well as another acoustic demo called Angel Eyes. That way the main album ends at a ghost story, and those 2 tracks are sort of like bonus demos. Making the music was only part of this project. There's a lot more that goes into creating an album. When all of the music was finished, my grandfather and I designed the artwork in Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator. I'll show the cover soon. My grandfather also helped me burn CDs, which are in the back hallway if anyone wants them. For the past 2 months, I've been running a full social media promotional campaign across TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And on June 5th, I'll be performing the album as well as some covers live at a backyard concert with my band. I'll give more information on that soon if you're interested. To get the music online, I had to distribute it. I uploaded the final tracks and all of the information to them to a distribution company. Then they send all those files out to each streaming platform so that you can listen to it on things like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and more. This meant I had to pick an artist name for myself, which was pretty difficult. To do this, Blaine and I got a piece of paper and started writing down as many words as we could think of. Then we also searched Google to try to find unique words that aren't commonly used. We both landed on the word halcyon, and I went and added a 0 instead of an O to make it more unique. As I mentioned, I've been posting videos on social media daily for the past 2 months. I thought that the promotional side of this project would be very tedious and annoying, but once I started seeing some actual results, I had a lot of fun. Here's an example of a video I posted.
I feel bad, I feel great, I don't know myself. Play the song, start the race, man, I'm zoning out.
And here's another example of me and Blaine promoting our song Reckless.
What's up? My name is Blaine.
My name is Julian.
We're best friends and we've been making music together for over 10 years.
I just completed my first album that I spent 2 years on.
And I'm on it too.
Driving down the road, down with windows open, singing music into the wind. And I'm just trying my best to be gonna take it all in.
Something that I also did as marketing was to create my own website where you can find me on social media, sign up for email lists, and get songs earlier than anyone else. That's halcyonmusic.com, spelled with a 0, not an O. And here are the band members who will be performing with me. Blaine Lovett on vocals and guitar, Finn Bennett on drums, Xander Krimpitz on bass, River Jones on keys, and Advik Mata on vocals and synth. I'll be playing vocals and electric guitar. Other than Blaine and Finn, they were not a part of the album creation process, but we will all be performing together on June 5th. Come say hello and listen to some fun music. And for those of you who are interested, here's what this project looked like quantitatively. I spent an average about 40 to 50 hours of studio time per final song in the album. This does not count the demo songs that did not make it onto the album. This means that the musical part of the album took me over 400 hours of total time, and the entire project was close to, if not more than 500 hours. I recorded a total of 24 tracks during this time, and only 10 made it onto the track list. And I gained over 200 new followers on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube since promoting my album. I decided to create a music video of Reckless with Blaine to show for the entire album. This is probably the most rock style song on the album, but it created a really fun music video. So, here we go.
Dude, I'm just so tired of being bullied all the time. I'm like, we're more than just nerds, you know?
I completely agree, but like, how do we fit in more, man? Like, how do we become cool?
I know, sometimes I just want to stop caring, you know? Like who cares about school and grades and sometimes I just want to be reckless.
Wait.
Driving down the road somewhere.
I learned a lot of things these past 2 years, but here are the two key takeaways. I learned to always choose feeling over perfection. Just because I recorded a guitar track that's perfectly in time with no mistakes doesn't mean it's perfect for the track. A great guitar track for the song has to have the right emotions for the song as well. The second biggest thing I learned is that when making any kind of art, I just can't care what other people think. I'm gonna have people that hate my music, I'm gonna have people that leave hate comments under my videos, but I'm also gonna have a lot of people that love my music and appreciate the journey. And if I never stopped caring and just put my stuff out there, I would have never found the people that loved it. So what comes after this? Well, I love creating music, so I'm not stopping here. I have a few projects planned. Blaine and I are currently working on an album together, and I'm also thinking of doing an acoustic version of this album. The concert on June 5th is the next immediate milestone, and I'm also considering a few more concerts in the near future. Now that we're almost done, I would like to thank everyone who has helped me through this journey. And bear with me, it's a long list, so I'll have to read this to make sure I don't forget. I'd like to thank my friends and any new fans I have gained for supporting me through this and giving me feedback so that I can improve. Dr. O for being my sponsor and keeping me on track. Dr. Liao for being my advisor and regularly checking in with me. And Miss Amy, Mr. Phillips, and Miss Wong for helping me with my presentation. Everyone who I took music lessons with as a kid at Blue Frog, and everyone at this school who let me have lots of creative freedom across high school. Carl Limburger for regularly sending me advice and ideas on how I can improve my promotional videos. My mom, dad, stepdad, grandparents, and any other family for always being by my side and playing music with me. My grandfather for helping me with physical art and printing CDs. My girlfriend, Maya, who inspired many of these tracks. Blaine, Finn, and Xander for giving me feedback, contributing to some of the tracks, and helping with the music video. Shane Stearns for always being a fellow musician to receive feedback from, as well as being there to geek out about music nonstop. We really need to schedule a time to chat soon. My mentor, Micah Wagner, for being awesome and giving me lots of feedback, lots of advice that doesn't always just apply to music. Y'all should go check out both Shane and Micah's music. They're both really good. And finally, I'd like to thank all of you for being a great audience. And now I proudly present Cosmic Apparition. As a reminder, June 5th at 7:30 p.m., my band and I are performing a concert at 2505 Crowns Point Drive. It's free entry. The album releases at 11 p.m. tonight, but if you'd like to download it right now, you can do so on my website, houseandmusic.com, spelled with a 0. You will always be able to join an email list to receive regular updates. You will also be able to join an email list to receive regular updates about new music, have access to songs before anyone else, and follow me on social media. That QR code is my website, by the way. Any questions? All the way in the back, is that Emmy? Halcyon, I get asked this a lot and I always forget. I know it has something to do with nostalgia and just, I don't know, like reminiscing about past memories. I know it's a cool meaning. Other than that, I can't remember. Hiba. Well, the album dives into chasing someone or something constantly without ever being able to really catch up to them. So the ghost is kind of representing both of us looking at the sky, at this like marvelous whatever, and the ghost is kind of representing that person that I can just never catch. Brian.
When you were showing all the different instrumental tracks that you later combined, did you play all those, or were you generating some of it within the computer, and what did you do at the end? What combination?
Okay, so the question was for the tracks, when I was playing the tracks for my songs, do I play all of the instruments or do I demonstrate it, or if it's combined, is that correct? Yeah, so some of the instruments I for all of my songs except 2, I played guitar, and then sang vocals, played guitar. Those are the only 2 things I recorded. Everything else is digital. It's called MIDI. It's basically, it's like an instrument. If I have a MIDI keyboard, I can plug it into my computer, and my computer will have the sound program there, and you can program like synths. I don't know if I'm describing that exactly how it is, but it's a digital instrument, so I didn't generate it, but I can create it by adding different effects and things like that. So most of my instruments are digitally made. I'm not generating them, but they're on the computer. Gramps.
You didn't say much about your songwriting, which is awesome. Can you say something about how you put together the lyrics with the music that you're creating?
How I put together the lyrics with the music? How they work together? Yeah, so I do try to create vibes with my songs. So in one of the songs I played, Nighttime Driving, one of the lyrics is Nighttime Driving, as with the name. So I really tried to bring in big reverbs, a guitar that really just keeps the rhythm going, and some drums to bring that nighttime driving style. Like if you're imagining driving windows down on a highway, you can listen to that song and it works. And I think I do that with many of my other songs too. I have a song called Too Late to the Party, and I say the line, too late to the party, and I have party echoing, almost as if I'm saying it back to no one because I'm alone, I'm not at a party. So yes, I try to implement my lyrics into music, and it kind of just comes with me however I want. If I have more of an aggressive song, I'm gonna, like lyric-wise, I'm gonna go with an aggressive vibe. Charles. I don't want to give the answer of it depends, but it really does. I think for me, it's usually a melody that then comes with the lyrics, and then I find like chords that fit with it. But I have had many songs that it's the chords first and then the lyrics. And sometimes I write lyrics without a melody in mind. It's more of a poem, and then I translate it to chords and melody. Amy.
So if I'm understanding right, the album came first, right? The recording of the album, and then the band, or have y'all been playing?
No, I had just gotten this together like a month ago, maybe. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited to play. So yeah. Right there.
You talked about the emotion that you pour into your guitar tracks that you record. I wonder, what was the motivation to use some digital tracks versus all recorded instruments? Was it time constraints, or was it just personal preference?
Yeah, honestly, some time constraints. I'm also not very good at guitar, so there were some harder guitar parts that I just couldn't really play very well. So there are a couple of the songs like that. The first song I released was called Ecstasy. It's all digital. I think I just made it digital for the demo because I didn't have my electric guitar with me when making it, and I just kind of liked the sound that it had. It made it kind of synthy. The main reason is I just can't play it, and I think the other song, it might have been that I just had digital tracks for the entire thing, and I was getting up to a deadline and just couldn't record a real track, so probably time constraints too. And then I typically layer my real guitar with a digital guitar just because it adds a little bit more, like a little extra. Winona. Yeah, do I have a favorite song from my album? I mean, there's a few that like I definitely can vibe with. It's probably Reckless. It's the most recent one, and the moment I wrote it, like I just really liked it. So, yeah. Zane. Okay, yeah, the inspiration for the music video. So that idea came from Blaine. He was kind of just saying it would be funny to have some nerds wanting to be cooler, and by trying to be cool, they actually become chaotic and reckless and like, ruin their lives. So the idea came from that, and I had a really good idea. I don't know if any of y'all know the 2015 Fantastic Four movie with Miles Teller. It was really bad, and there's a meme of it. That was that first shot of the movie. I was inspired by that. So we kind of played off of that a little bit. But yeah, it was an idea from Blaine, and I just kind of wrote it out more. And we just wanted it kind of hilarious and fast-paced, and yeah. Oh, yes. What? Did I get in trouble? Can you get in trouble? Oh, will you get in trouble if you put an O instead of a 0? Oh, yes. I'm so sorry. I misunderstood what you were asking. Okay. Yes, so it's funny because I actually searched everywhere to find a font that had the 0 with a slash in it because I'm like, I want to stop saying that every single time, but I couldn't find a font. Like, I went through like 30 fonts. None of them had it like that. So unfortunately, I made sure the 0 was like a little bigger so it looked different, and yeah. Brian again. Yes, every platform. They'll be out everywhere. Tonight at 11 p.m. Yeah, or I mean technically tomorrow, but most streaming services run in a time zone an hour before. So, yes. Yeah, it's that's possibly it. Anyone else? All right.